fellow interests, welcome back to another new kit build for the channel. As stated in the last kit build video, after we finished the FW190, we have this, the Boulton Defiant Mark 1. It is a very interesting looking aircraft, I will be honest. I've seen quite a lot of information about these aircraft. It's not much about them, but I have managed to find some. But also, I am trying to find out more information on this aircraft, which is L7013. So if you know anything more regarding it, just to make your lives easier, before we start, I shall give you some more information that I have that is supplied in the kit. So if you can find out, if anyone who's watching this video knows any more information about this particular aircraft, then it would be appreciated. Simply because, obviously, as you are aware, or if you're not aware, I like to not just do the information on the history of the type of aircraft, but also the history of the actual aircraft. With that, let's get on with the build.
Engine, the freeway so clear, and you're my every reason. You're everything that I believe in. Get in your car and drive this long and winding road. Shift into overdrive. I know your love will carry me home. South Coast Highway, skies are so blue. South Coast Highway takes me to you. It's our last chance, ain't no modern romance. South Coast Highway, love built to last. Those miles will speed by as I drive alone.
Right, fellow interests, yes, I know this doesn't look like the correct green, but I have actually checked the actual Boulton Defiant Mark 1 that is actually in Cosford. I've looked on Google, an image of it will appear now. And I think I've managed to get the right shade. Just so as it's the real one, so I'm not going. Yeah, it's the real one, so I'm not going to dispute it. So we managed to lose the yoke somehow. I don't know how, but it's the way it goes, sadly. Right. We know this side is where they essentially say we gotta fit the cockpit, so there, and then that's where that little lid on there goes into here. There's no point me asking any of you how are you doing, because you don't answer even if I do ask. Right, as that's gone in, if you answered, my fellow rangers, by all means I would ask, but you don't really ask. Answer, I mean. Right, let's just quickly just touch that bit up on the top before the mixed paint I've done dries. There we are. Yeah, I've mixed that myself because I didn't have that shade. But yes, what we got to do before we put the fuselage together is we got to obviously where is it? I know it's here somewhere. Aha, yes. Our instrument panel, which is there, and quick timing by my phone by clearing it, making it so that it does appear. Right. Double check the instructions, that's where it goes. Ah, yes, I see. Best thing to do is little tad bit of glue there. Yeah, we will. Don't worry, fellow rangers. I will wash that brush I just used in a moment. And just where did I put those damn tweezers? Ah, typical. Right in front of me. Right. Don't worry, fellow rangers. We will go back to time lapse once we've got a little bit more done. There we are. I'm not going to worry too much about that simply because of the fact that you won't see it. Right, we got the platform here. That's for our turret that goes on the back on the Boulton Defiant. And sadly, these were the only defensive guns that the aircraft had. And because of that, it made it very, very, very vulnerable to enemy fighter aircraft. It was originally designed to take on bombers, as it wasn't really designed to dogfight. And sadly, it really showed itself that it couldn't compete with the BF-110s and in the daylight and the BF-109s. It was transferred to night fighter role, but then it was quickly replaced not long after that by such aircraft as the Beaufighter. And if I remember right, I would have put a photo of that up on the screen now. As I'm filming this, I'll remember it, but will future me who edits this will remember? Hopefully I do. Alright, just double check. Yep, that's meant to be down below the thing. Yes. Just double check. Yeah, because the cockpit's on it. Yeah, that's fine. Right, we'll wait for that to dry and then stick the fuselage together and then pretty much stick the wings, which I've done I did do a moment ago. So in the time lapse segment. They went together quite well. Fair play to FX as always. It always goes together quite well, from my experience. That's weird that it's only got... Oh, wait, I see. It's because that's not... Yeah, that's where it should be, actually. That's weird. Anyway, I'll have to sort that out, so we'll be back in a moment, fellow Rangers. Right, fellow Rangers, yes, we've sorted out that little issue with the undercarriage where it would be going, because on this aircraft, unlike the FW190 that we've just recently finished, we will be having the undercarriage down, so we need to be able to access certain things on the in the undercarriage bay, and we couldn't a moment ago, so I just sorted it all out. Fortunately, it was still just before it got really hard before when I noticed, so I was able to quickly correct the mistake before it went any further. Right. Fuselage. Right, we'll go to time lapse. See you in a moment, fellow Rangers.
Say what you want to me, I don't really care. Won't stay to find out what you need. I'm not that lonely. It's not about the things you said or what you say you believe.
Right, fellow Rangers, as now we've gotten to the point where our aircraft is now on its stand. And there's a reason why that we got the base pointing this way and the aircraft pointing the way it is. It's simply because on the instructions, I'll show you now, the aircraft has the ability to have a stand, but problem is you got lines by there and bits that go in between this stand to essentially hide the stand from display. Only one way to get it so that this, because that old stand that you got there is no longer available anywhere. Yeah, so that's what I've done. I've done it so that I can still have it on the stand, but like this. It's going well so far, I think. So I think what we'll do is we will get to the fitting of the undercarriage, and then we will end this episode as episode 1 of the Boulton Defiant Mark 1. And as it's been a very interesting kit so far, everything has gone together the way it should. And I'm willing to admit if I've done anything wrong, and I did do one or two little bits wrong, but I was able to correct them mistakes. So I've filed back some of the sharp bits that was on the fuselage, because there was one or two bits where off the sprue itself. But yeah, that's been added as well, of course, it wasn't there. So right, let's get on with the... Well, I'll do this another bit with you, fellow Rangers, is the tail fins. Right, let's see. Clippers, yep. Always makes life easier with these, but off I find anyway, it's up to you entirely what you find easy or easier. Because I find that you can just about get quite close to it. And still not break the item that you're trying to cut out, because with a knife you got a lot of chances of hurting yourself as well as damaging the piece that you want. And essentially that sprue is now finished with us. We will no longer need sprue, let's see, B, because, no wait, We will probably need it as we are having the undercarriage down on this aircraft. And there may be something on there that we may need. See, no, that is for having the undercarriage up, not down. So I was right. Right, let's see, make sure that's all, no little bits of sprue remaining, because that can stop some items from fitting properly. Is little bits of burr off the sprue. Right. Tail fin, let's see. There we are. Sadly, there is only one essentially left in the world of this type of aircraft. After that's essentially built, it was two, but there's one built for a replica, and there's one built from spares. One, if you ever get a chance to go to RAF Cosford, it's actually there, not far from the kit build plane James May done for his Toy Stories. No, wait, hang on. There's me trying to get on there and it's for the wrong side. Yes, I was correct. Right. Unless, no, there we are. Fair play, that's looking a lot better. That's it, that's perfect. Well, as good as I can get it to be anyway. There we are. Yeah, mind you is let's see what the, you normally have like a thing on the box of skill rating. Yeah, it's a skill rating of 1, but again, like I said before, and that's just the box falling down. If you heard that, it is. I don't go off from how many bits is in the kit. I go off what the actual aircraft is. It's as I find if I'm going to build something, I want the aircraft to be interesting, not boring. I mean, not just for content reasons, but for a fact that every different aircraft got its own different ways of being built. And if you don't get a challenge like that in other ways, then it would possibly get boring, but I'm not going to let that happen, as I do enjoy building model kits. Right, now I've waffled on for a little bit, we'll go back to time lapse and get on with the undercarriage of our Boulton Defiant. But we'll get the base parts of it done, and then we will call it a day on episode 1.
One of these days, gonna lose control. Gonna walk right out the door. The 9 to 5 is gonna break your soul. You won't take it anymore. You got the poor blues, and it's a crying shame. So what you got to lose?
Right, fellow Rangers, that you could say near enough it, but we will just, while I'm thinking about it and whatnot, I will just get the exhausts on because why not? Right, it doesn't say. Right, let's see. I know it's a little bit early for the propellers, but not propellers, the exhaust. What am I on about? Oh, but it is two sets of exhausts, and they virtually look identical to each other. So I don't know why there is two sets. Weird. I think I'll just use A3 and A13 as they look alright. Right, let's see. A3. Cutting that out. I hope you have enjoyed today's video. If you have, please consider putting a like on it, as it would be very, very much appreciated. Also, if it is your first video with me and you want to see more kit build videos like this, where we don't just build the kit itself and call it a day from there, we also go into not just the history of the type of aircraft that we're building, but the actual history of the actual aircraft that we're building. I'm guessing it's a... Right, that's weird. Nibs on it. Right, yeah, I see. Yes, probably one side's got... Yes. Yes, I see. Yeah, so as I was saying, we don't just, regarding the model kit builds, we don't just build the kits and then that's it. We also research into the history of the type of aircraft that we're building, normally on the third episode of the build, but also the actual history of the actual, if we can find it, the history of the actual aircraft that we're building, and if it's possible, finding out the fate of our aircraft with, if we can, finding photos of it. I've managed to find out some information on our Boulton Defiant Mark 1, which is registration number Lima 7013. I'll just double check that, and we'll make sure that it is correct, simply because the fact that if you find that, oh hello, why is that can't be the right one, because the bits just don't line up. Let's see. No, it can't have been. No, it wasn't. It can't have been, because the fact is that. But that was A13, like it said. Oh, I don't get it. Well, we got the right one now anyway. Right, because it has little lubs that go into it, and keep knocking this. This is just setting. There we are. That looks spot on the way it should be. Yeah, we've managed to find a lot of information on our aircraft, which is this one here. At one moment, I'll just make your life a little bit easier, fellow Rangers, because if you find out anything more information on this, if you're interested, please let me know in the email, in the link in the description. It is, if the camera focuses for one moment. There we are. L7013. Boulton Paul Defiant Mark 1. And we know where it was up until August the 26th of 1941, but other than that, we don't know after that. So if anyone knows any information on our Boulton Paul Defiant, I would love to hear from you, and yes, I will credit you in the video to say yes, I've gotten information from so and so, as it's only fair. Right, that is episode 1 of the Defiant Boulton Paul Defiant Mark 1. And again, please don't forget to subscribe, as we're very, very close to reaching halfway for our mini goal for this year of 600 subscribers. But till next time, my fellow Rangers, I hope you all take care, keep doing what you enjoy doing, and also, this is from me and our little Mark 1 Boulton Paul Defiant. This is the Lone Ranger, signing out.